I'm here with singer-songwriter Brice Long at his annual Back2Back Foundation benefit concert, and we're going to do a little interview before we hit that stage. So tell me about your Back2Back Foundation concert for those that might be listening that don't know about it.
Okay, well, it's a foundation that my wife and I started 17 years ago. Sorry. It's and this is our once a year fundraiser. We do a benefit show here in Hopkinsville. We started in the old convention center, and then moved to the new convention center, and then now we're here at the Alhambra tonight, which is awesome. This place is fantastic. It sounds amazing, and what we do is this is our once a year fundraiser for our foundation, which our main goal is to give back to families at Christmas time in the communities of Christian, Trigg, and Todd County. And through the years we've been doing this, we've also had a lot of opportunity to help other things and other organizations, other people throughout the years we find need.
So tell me about your songwriting process. Do you get the lyrics first, the melody first, or is it different every time?
I do both. I feel like for me it works better when I have a guitar in my hand and it kind of I can sing kind of the lyrics and put a melody to it as we go. That's the process that works best for me. Of course, you know, if you're coming up with ideas or things like that, they could come from anywhere. Conversation with somebody or just overhearing something. It happens in all different ways. But as far as setting down the actual process to take an idea and write it into a song, I do it at the same time, melody and lyrics at the same time.
Tell me about writing Sunday Best with Lainey Wilson. How did that songwriting session come about?
Well, funny thing about that is my good buddy Shane Miner and I and Lainey wrote that song together, and it originally the title was "Drinking in My Sunday Dress." That was the original title, and so when we wrote the song, it was such a good time and a lot of fun, and it was actually the first time that I had written with Lainey, and I've become such a big fan of her.
She's great.
As a person.
She's one of my favorites.
Oh, she's everything you hope somebody would be too as a person. I love her dearly, but we were writing that day, and we wrote the song. We finished it, and I went and did cut a track on it, and Lainey came over that afternoon and put her vocal on it. And then when they cut her first record, which it's on, Lainey said it just, the drinking in my Sunday dress, she said, man, that's just not me. She said, I'm just not a dress kind of girl. And I'd rather say drinking in my Sunday best. And so that was her change of that title, because that's what she, felt like was more her. And so she changed it to Sunday Best, and man, what a great cut. She's such a great singer, and Jay Joyce and her cut a great record, and always glad to be a part of anything Lainey's doing.
Tell me about getting all these George Strait cuts that you have.
Oh, well, it's...
Where were you the first time, or do you remember where you were the first time you found out you got one of his cuts?
I did, and George, it's he's been an artist for me that I wanted back, when I moved to Nashville. That was, that was something that was a dream that hopefully one day, I would have a song cut by George Strait, and
Doesn't
it took
everybody
a while.
that lives in Nashville?
No kidding. He's such a great artist, and it's tough. I mean, it's, he gets pitched the best of the best, and my first song I got cut on, George, I wrote with my buddy Jeff Hyde and Clint Daniels, a song called Wish You Well. And I remember my publisher, she had pitched the song to George, and then she found out first and kind of let me know. And I remember that day after we found out, we went to we went to a local restaurant there in town and had a few glasses of wine to celebrate after getting that cut. So, yeah, Janine, she was Janine Appleton then, Janine Ebach now, and she pitched that song to George and actually got my first George Strait cut for me.
What's your favorite song to perform live that you've written?
Oh man, that's tough, but in all honesty, it would probably be Anything Goes.
Oh, I like that one too.
Yeah, I wrote that song with my buddy John Wiggins, and of course Randy Houser cut it. It was his first single at country radio, and it was a big hit for John and I and Randy, but it's still one of my all-time favorite songs, and I love, I just love performing it. I love everything about it, melody, lyrics, and it's one of those country songs that I always wanted to write, and thanks to John Wiggins and that title he threw out that day, we got it written, and when Randy said the first time he ever heard it, he knew it was his song, and he knew he wanted to cut it. So, he did a fabulous job on it. One of my favorite singers ever is Randy Houser.
He is a great singer. He's a great singer. All right, my last question for you is, what are you looking forward to most about tonight's show?
The reality of it is, anytime I get back here in my hometown and get to play, it's just a good time. Getting to play in this Alhambra Theatre as well. I worked, as a kid, several plays here, and was in the group Applause here, and played with a band here after high school a couple times, and it's just, this is home. So
right.
Getting to be here and getting to play a show to benefit this foundation is a blessing, and it's going to be a great night and a fun night. But I guess probably more than anything is getting to see the faces that I don't get to see. This is probably about one time a year I get to see a lot of people that I grew up with, and that's special, because this is my home and it's my hometown, and I'm very thankful to have been able to have the success I have, and then to be able to come home and have this foundation to raise money for, and to give to so many people in the community that need it, and it just makes it all worth doing.
Well, I appreciate this interview. It's always a pleasure to see you, my friend, and I thank you so much.
Absolutely, thank you.